Thanks for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. Subscribe there. It'll make us very, very happy. Don't forget to rate and review us on iTunes. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, or more importantly, Ole Miss every day. Hi, I'm Stephen Willis alongside Tom Vanderford, and we're going to talk a little bit of Ole Miss sports on this weekend because this video, Tom, is going to air, I think Sunday night is when we're actually going to put it up. So it'll be up Sunday night. But we do want to talk about Ole Miss sports and things that's going on because we're doing our previews right now. And you can check Tom's normal spot is going to be an LSU preview. So we're doing that. So before media days, that all kinds of, it kind of gets a little bit weird. Anyway, Tom, I know you're excited about the transfers, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And you were sitting here, talking about the DLs and the DBs and all of that. What has you so excited, man? What's on your mind there?
Well, last year, we weren't deep enough on defense. And that showed its ugly head the last few games of the year. We had some problems on offense as well. But I want to concentrate on the defense because, as it's been mentioned on this podcast many times, every year Lane Kiffin's been at Ole Miss, we've had a top 10 offense. So that's not going to be the issue. But let's talk real quick about the transfers. I don't think people understand just how good the transfers are. I know that I refer to the Moneyball thing just like Lane Kiffin does. But if you look and see what he did, he didn't waste his time nor a bunch of NIL money going after these transfers from, the big blue blood schools. The kid from James Madison is the real deal. The kid from North Texas is the real deal. Number 1 rated cornerback returning in the SEC. Then we got Prince on the other side. We got Walton. We got the kid from Tulane. We got the kid from Liberty. We're in pretty dadgum good shape at DB. We've got safeties. I think personally that Saunders will end up starting at safety by the time SEC plays rolls around, and he's a ball hawk. And he's a tall guy. He's a good guy. He's a good cover guy. He's got good instincts. So I'm really excited about the defensive backfield, whereas before all that happened and we were having all these people leave, really had me concerned. But I'm not concerned anymore with the defensive backfield. Looking at it, linebacker, I've got some inside scoop on linebacker. We're in pretty good shape there as well, the best we've been in a while. And on the defensive line, we're extremely deep. What I don't think people understand is flipping over to the offensive side, we lost our top 2 receivers. We lost Heath and we lost Mingo. And normally that would be a big deal. Don't think people understand what we got from UTSA and what we got from La Tech. Once again, Moneyball. Mm-hmm. These guys are proven. Both of them were first team in their conference. We've got a big tight end that's going to show out. I think Priest Corn is going to be a huge deal. I love Casey Kelly. I do. But Priest Corn is a prototypical big tight end. He'll be able to block as good as Casey did. And I think he'll be able to catch very well as well. So that adds another dimension. And, of course, you've got all the other folks that have been there. We got some really good depth on the offensive line as well. So anybody that can't be excited about this team, enjoy it, because I know we've got the second toughest schedule in America. Mm-hmm. But we also have the most deep roster we've had in a long time.
In my lifetime.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and he did it right. He kept the guys that people were coming after. for the most part. I mean, we lost Igbinosun and we lost Malone, but yeah, those guys were kind of tied to another coach, so I understand. But I think Pete Golding's done a great job. I really do, and I think on the offensive side, Lane's done well as well.
We had Ashanti Seastrunk on the show a couple of weeks back, and he talked about how that linebacker room, he was kind of a wry smile when he talked about the talent that's already in there, and he talked about Centarian and what's going on with the summer workouts and all that. And it does not escape my notice that defensive line we stocked. The transfer portal he was busy in. Secondary, he stocked. The transfer portal he was busy in. The linebacker room, no, he's like, we're good. We're fine.
Yeah. Yeah, we're good. I don't know, and I don't want to point fingers. I don't know if the linebacker situation last year was the scheme, if it was the coaching. I don't know exactly what it was. But when you have all the pieces together that we have this year, adding Suntarian, adding Monty, adding Jean Baptiste, we're deep. We've got hitters. We've got people that are more suited for. I mean, we've got Coleman still. We've got people that are more suited for inside outside. We've got people that are more suited for Jack. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see. But I honestly, I just don't see the problems I normally see with an Ole Miss team, which is, hey, we've got two great corners, but after that, we don't have a lot of experience. We don't have a lot of – it's not that way. We're loaded everywhere. God forbid first string quarterback goes down. Second string quarterback's awesome. God forbid second string goes down. Third string may be the best quarterback we have.
Yeah.
We've never had these problems.
Yeah, you have a situation where Ole Miss has got a one of their signees as freshman was the national sack leader in the country. He had 35 sacks or something like that. And normally everybody be ball hawking that player from the moment he stepped on campus to see exactly what he can do. This would be a major league story in a normal Ole Miss season. DJ Holmes can just develop.
Yep.
There's no pressure on that kid at all because we got it. We're okay.
Yeah. We can put a shirt on him if we have to, It's all good. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I think the people that really follow recruiting like I do in football, I think they all realize it. I think everybody out there that's listening that is a recruiting junkie, that goes back to the days of Yancey and all those guys. In the words of Yancey, we got a lot of players that look good on the hoof.
Yeah. Anytime we start talking about Yancey, the one phrase that pops in my head, he could not spell. He spelled prima donna like PRE Madonna.
Yeah.
And I just see that. And the first time I saw that was when I was living in Italy, and I was like, oh no, that can't be happening.
Yeah. But bless his heart.
Yeah. It just happened. It's the same thing as for people that hard road to hold or in intensive purposes, those type things that everybody messes up.
Exactly.
It's just an easy way to pick on somebody whenever you do something. It's kind of low hanging fruit.
Yeah, but I mean, I love the guy. He's a big rebel. I love the guy, but I am super excited about this football season.
Before we get out of here, who do you think Lane Kiffin is going to take with him to media days? I think they're taking two now. I think it's two players now.
Well, I hope one of them is Ashanti Seastrunk, just because.
Impressive interview.
He is. He's a good kid. He's working on his master's. He's just a good kid from a good family. So that's who I would pick on defense. And on offense, I'd pick Jackson Dart.
I'm real interested. I think everybody's ears are going to perk up whenever it gets announced, because if Jackson Dart goes to media days, he is the favorite to take this competition by storm. And the reason we keep talking about it is because Lane Kiffin makes this the case.
Yep.
It's not anybody's fault. And I tell people all the time, it's like, hey, if I talk about the competition, the video does better than when I don't.
Exactly. Our heads and bring Quinshawn.
Yeah, and but with media days being in Nashville instead of Birmingham, if it was in Hoover, I would buy that.
Yeah.
But being in Nashville, I think there's a little bit of leeway, and there's not that hometown thing that you can do with Quinshawn. But Quinshawn, he would make a lot of sense.
I bet all
at
the
media.
Like, man, what happened to Destin?
So should be pretty interesting. I do appreciate it, Tom. And thanks everyone for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast their first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. Subscribe there. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Every Dayers next week, we'll continue to go down the schedule. We're starting off in October next week. Obviously, our first 4 weeks, I've got us predicted at 4-1. Yes, Alabama and LSU's on the schedule, but I've got us predicted at 4-1. Where's the season going to go from there? I will tell you all about that over the next 5 games this weekend. Thank you very much, Tom, for stopping by for your normal segment, and we'll talk to you next week, bud.
Hotty toddy.
Hotty toddy.